I'm Jere Palazzolo, founder and president of Catholic Healthcare International, and welcome to another discussion of responding to the call of Padre Pio. Each week I will take 3 to 5 minutes to discuss one aspect about Padre Pio, his amazing Home for the Relief of Suffering hospital, and our call to replicate that hospital here in the United States as a beacon of light in the delivery of Catholic healthcare, faithful Catholic healthcare for our country. Today I'm going to go into the final 3 elements that Cardinal Burke, our Episcopal Advisor, had presented to us as to how faithful Catholic healthcare systems need to operate in a secular society. And he presented to us these 7 elements because he could see the direction that our country and our world is going towards secularism. And this is how he says we need to respond. Very profound points. I covered the first 4 last week, and I'm going to cover the last 3 this week. Again, I'm going to use notes. I apologize for that, but these are important issues. Element number 5. Must have the priority of ethical and religious standards over professional standing and position within the larger medical community. In other words, the professional standards are very important, but the ethical and religious standards are much, much more important, and they must be the priority for us. The desire to have the approval of prominent secular institutions can never justify the compromise of ethical and religious principles. Never, ever. The ethical and religious directives for Catholic healthcare services must be viewed as the binding norms. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops has developed what they call ethical and religious directives for Catholic healthcare services. And that has to be the dominating norm that guides Catholic hospitals and healthcare systems as they provide care. The number 6, must have freedom from financial support and assistance, which is given under conditions which obscure or even betray the Catholic identity of the Catholic healthcare institution. This is a really important one. Government's involvement as it continues to grow, and we talked about that in a prior session. They provide a lot of the payment mechanisms for hospitals. They also try to influence the way that hospitals provide care. And as we had discussed before, they are not committed to the life issues like what we need to be. The beginning of life issues, the end of life issues, and the value of life throughout. Therefore, they try to impose their values and standards to do things that we just cannot do in the Catholic hospitals. We cannot let that influence us, even though they have the control over the finances, the reimbursement for that. So you can't allow that to happen. We've got to be able to come together and provide services, but do it in consistency with the teachings of the Church and the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. That's a very important one, and that is really influencing a lot of hospitals to do things that they really shouldn't be doing or look the other way, and you can never do that. And then finally, the last one, and it's somewhat similar in nature, element number 7, you must have the discipline against the desire for credibility or prestige, which would lead the Catholic institution into relationships with large non-Catholic healthcare institutions by way of mergers, partnerships, or joint ventures. And this is again much the same of what I talked about on the prior one. Because of the difficulties in being able to get by and survive with the waning reimbursement and the financial issues, many Catholic hospitals are looking to joint ventures with non-Catholic institutions to be able to generate additional market share, revenue, and to do things. And those non-Catholic institutions don't share the same values we do. And many of these joint ventures create structures which hide or allow them to do things which are not consistent, but it hides them away from the visible eye, so that you can say, the people will say, well, we're not doing it within this joint venture. You got to stay away from that. Catholic hospitals cannot get involved in joint ventures. They need to be very careful in who they do business with. And frankly, We have 600 Catholic hospitals. We should be working together in joint relationships to be able to provide the services. God would bless that. He would make it prosper, and we would do amazing things. We are doing amazing things, and we will continue to do that. Anyway, those 7 guiding elements, those principles that Cardinal Burke so profoundly put together, are the key things. It's difficult, but they have to guide. That is why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we're replicating Padre Pio's Casa Hospital, because it is very consistent with those elements that Cardinal Burke put together. Thank you for joining me this week and responding to the call. Please join me again next week. Until then, God bless you. Take care. Please pray for us and please support us. Thank you very much.